Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Yeah.
My name is Jamie Dorley. I'm CEO and co-founder, along with Dr. James Wyman, who's present today, of Nutritional Frontiers, and welcome to the professional training event in Pittsburgh, PA. So the thing I love about living in Pittsburgh now is you get all 4 seasons. And this week, it was all in one day. So we have some people on our team from all over the country, including Florida. So anybody in the back with the name tag Nutritional Frontiers would be more than happy to help you guys out today. So appreciate you coming. This is going to be, without a doubt, one of the most exciting events you've been to. So you will not be disappointed in investing your time today, because I know time is one thing that's most valuable to all of us, right? And this is the first time we've done this. We've actually brought back a speaker from the event last time we did an event in July. We've never done that before because we never had the overwhelming feedback that we had for Dr. Tracey Stroup, that people not only loved what she did last time, but wanted more. So this is an interactive event. You're guaranteed to learn things today that you can implement today with yourself, your family, your staff, and your patients. And we're really excited because we're really close to finalizing a premier partnership arrangement with Trinity School of Natural Health. So let's give a nice warm welcome to Dr. Tracey Stroup.
Thank you. So I am kind of mic'd up free, so if I get too close to something, I'm sorry. How many people attended the last seminar we did? Okay. How many people watched the video on the Nutritional Frontiers website? Okay. So if you have not had a chance to go back and watch that, I know it was a little long, but it's very valuable information. So the first part of this lecture, I'm going to review that. Not too in-depth, just kind of a brief review. And then we're going to move into some traditional Chinese medicine today. We're going to move into face, tongue, and nail analysis. How many people do that already? How many practitioners? You do face, tongue, nail? Okay. Physical observations of the body. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how your pH can actually show up on your face, on your tongue, and in your nails. And just by literally looking at your client or family member or even yourself, you can pinpoint need in the body, system need, functional need, simply by looking at face, tongue, and nails. So when I lecture, I teach. I don't want to stand up here and just lecture to you about a bunch of facts. I want you to put your hands into the practice. That's what I do at Trinity. I'm their VP of Operations, and when I send the instructors out to teach students how to practice, I expect them to practice. So today, we are going to put hands-on practice into this entire lecture. You are going to be working with people that you don't know, okay? So I'm going to make you partner up with somebody else, because the person you with, you probably know all their little quirks. So, and we want you to actually try to assess somebody else. So this is going to be interactive. So it's more like 10 feet. I can't get near that speaker. You are going to learn a lot of information today. You have a packet that's printed out. I promise you that I'll repeat anything that you need, and we're going to have fun. Okay? Everybody ready? All right. So like Jamie said, my name's Dr. Tracey. I work at Trinity School of Natural Health. I also have a practice in Tyrone, Pennsylvania. If you know where that is, it's kind of in between State College and Altoona. It's this little speck of a town. We think we're a town. We actually have a borough and a pizza shop, so we're pretty important. Work. Look, nothing. So today we're just going to open up by saying that all the information you learn here is for informational purposes only. As a traditional naturopath, I cannot cure, treat, or diagnose, nor do I wish to. I leave that to the licensed medical professionals. What I do is help the body find balance so that it can fix itself. And I do that on the trilogy of health, mind, body, and spirit. So when you're a naturopathic practitioner, you work within this field, you can't just look at the physical all the time, because where does most of our stress and sickness come from, right? Our thoughts, our words, our actions, okay? So with the pH module, when we did it last time, we found out that pH is transit time of digestion, right? So upper body pH, the saliva, was indicative of upper body digestion, which constitutes what part? Mouth, esophagus, and stomach, okay? So mouth, we masticate the food. We break it down into smaller particles. I can stand right here. And what we do is we create surface area. That surface area then helps our enzymes break down the food, okay? It travels through the esophagus, which does what for our food? Does anybody remember? You guys have to participate, hence interactive, huh? Yeah, well, peristalsis happens in the stomach. That's churning. The esophagus actually warms your food. Exactly. So it warms it. So does anybody ever get food stuck? Right? So what do? You go up and down with a big drink of icy Coke, right? Okay? Yeah. So what's that do to the body temperature? Changes it. So although it feels lubricated, it doesn't mean that the transit time is happening. So then it hits the stomach churns it, 3 parts to the stomach. We methylate B12 there, lots of fun. And what do we need in the stomach to make everything else happen? Hydrochloric acid. If our hydrochloric acid is too low, what happens? Digestion slows down, right? Because what stimulates that pyloric sphincter to open? Acid. There's fire. Open the door so it can drop into the duodenum, right? And it can be alkalized by the pancreas and the bile from the gallbladder, okay? So transit time, upper body. Lower body is indicative of urine pH. That's small and large intestine. And this is where the magic happens. That's where 90% of our absorption happens and our excretion. So we need those two systems to run at the same speed. If my upper body digestion is too fast and it's dumping things into my lower body before it's ready, I'm going to get a pileup, a backup, or vice versa. If my upper body digestion is too slow, I'm literally waiting and starving the entire time, okay? Does anybody remember what the optimal pH was, urine and saliva? 6.4 over 6.4, yep. Is that acidic or alkaline? It's acidic according to chemistry, right? But who cares about chemistry, because that was boring. So mineral acceptance, I'm just kidding, I'll explain why that's different. Mineral acceptance can also be determined by pH. If you think about your digestive system and it's super acidic, right, running really fast, a lot of heat, a lot of inflammation, are you going to accept your minerals? Are they going to have time to get to where they need to go? So if it's moving too slow, what could that lead to? If your digestive system is moving too slow and food is just sitting in the digestive system for hours and hours, what could happen? A buildup of what? So if I put a steak here and I leave it there for a week, what's going to happen to it? What is it? Right, decay, putrefaction, bacterial growth. Okay, do you think that could happen in your digestive system? Could you grow bacterias, maybe yeast, fungus? Okay, so when we're talking about digestion and it's too slow, would those things interfere with your mineral acceptance if something's in the way? Yes. So the other thing with digestion is when they run at the same speed, I always say it's like taking my grandmother and my 3-year-old to the mall. And here I am walking through the mall. And my 3-year-old is just running and far ahead, and my Gram's like way back here. So I spend a ton of energy running up here and trying to get him to slow down and coming back here and trying to get her to speed up. Okay? So when your digestive tract is running at 2 different speeds, you are going to waste tons of energy trying to regulate it and slow it down. pH is a great indicator of that the system is running, and all disease starts in the gut. Every single one. I don't care what it is. You can come in and you can give me a name of a disease and I'll fix your digestion. Because if you can't assimilate the nutrients you're putting in your body and you can't detoxify what needs to go out, you will have dis-ease. Okay? Does that make sense? So when people come to see in my practice and they say, I have this condition, let's say their thyroid is not functioning optimally. I start at the gut. What are you eating? Tell me what you're eating. How often do you eat? What's your pH? What's the transit time of digestion? Can you break your food down? Do you have a strong microbiome? Is the hydrochloric acid strong enough in your body so that it can open the door and activate your enzymes to break down proteins? Okay? Remember, stomach is king. It is always king. So you can have digestive issues, constipation, whatever. If you don't address stomach first and make sure that your hydrochloric acid is being released and activating everything else, nothing else will work. Stomach is always king. All right, pH scale. This is basic chemistry. Remember this probably from like 4th grade. Okay, we know that on the left side of 7 is acidic, on the right side is alkaline, 7 being neutral. When we studied pH, when we say alkaline, this means a lower concentration of hydrogen okay, in the blood. That's what that means. Okay? When we say it's acidic, there's a higher concentration, like lactic acidosis. You've probably heard that term. That's just a higher concentration of hydrogen in the blood. That's why ketogenic works, right? Anybody hear of the ketogenic diet? Okay? It stops that process because you replace sugar with fat. And so you get less of those hydrogen ions being burned off and put into the blood. Just keep in mind that every time we move up or down in the scale, you're 100 times more acidic. Okay? So just by moving from a pH of 3 is 10 times more acidic than a pH of 4, which is 100 times more acidic than a pH of 5. So it goes up every time. So when someone says, well, my pH is only 6.8, they're 1,000 times off where they should be. Okay? So it's a logarithmic number. So pH is valuable. Okay? So according to RBTI, which is Ream's Biological Theory of Ionization, and Dr. Reams, over a course of 19 years and specific retreat studies that he did in what is science in general, it's a theory, correct? What he found was the most optimal pH was 6.4. So for the purpose of this lecture, when we say 6.4, it is optimal, correct? Anything that is to the left of that, 6.2, 6.1, 6.0, 5.9, 5.8, right? On this side is acidic. Anything above 6.4 is alkaline. Anything to the left of 6.4, when you think about acid, you think about hot and burning, heat. It's too fast, okay? We want to slow that down. Anything on the right is too alkaline, it's too slow. Things are hanging out in the digestive system way too long, causing way too much toxicity, and we need to move it. Okay? Whoops, we didn't fix that. So the lower mineral acceptance on both scales. That's supposed to be over there, but that's okay. You kind of get the gist. So either way, you are missing nutrients, whether your nutrition is too fast or too slow. Okay? So today, what we're going to do when we bring this all together at the end is I'm literally going to ask you, if you want to, you can test your pH. Okay? So we learned the last time when we do saliva pH, we need nothing in the mouth for 15 minutes. We have pH strips. If you wish to do that, take one last drink of water and then don't touch it. Okay? You can test your urine pH during lunch because it just gets awkward if you do it in the room. Okay? So during lunch, you can have pH strips, take it into the bathroom, test your urine pH, make sure you write your numbers down because you think you'll remember through lunch, you won't. Because everybody will be talking about their numbers and you'll forget. Okay, so just make sure you write those two numbers down. We are going to use them later because you're going to do case studies on each other. And when you walk out of here, you're going to have a protocol as to what you need recommended by another practitioner. Okay? Good? All right. We also remember that we graph this on a vertical scale. So 6.4 is optimal at the center. So let's say when we write our pH, we remember that we write it urine over saliva, correct? And I always tell people saliva's on the bottom because it matters more. It's denser. Okay? So honestly, I don't know why Dr. Reams did that. It's just what he did. I think he was just to confuse us. So when you write your urine pH, it's on the top, saliva's on the bottom of this graph, of this line here. So if you ever say to me, can you interpret my pH? And I say, yes, give me your numbers. And you say 6.8 over 6.7, I'm going to assume that's urine over saliva. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Let's just have a pretend person who has a urine pH of 7 and maybe a saliva pH of 5.5. Urine pH of 7, lower body digestion, right? Is that too fast or too slow? Too slow, okay? What could you expect to see in somebody that had slow digestion in the lower part of the body? Bloating, yep, what else? Constipation. Yeah, most of my people come in and say, I'm constipated. If I check their urine pH, it's usually pretty alkaline, okay? Now, upper body digestion is 5.5. Is that too fast or too slow? It's too fast, right? You got stuff dumping into that lower body before it's ready for assimilation. Now you're going to get a backup. So people that have an acidic saliva, what's the one enzyme they're missing. It's the first indicator when I see an acid saliva, I know I need to give them this particular enzyme. What's in the mouth? Amylase, I heard it, great. Yep, amylase. These are people that won't methylate alcohol well, okay, because you need amylase, okay? This is also a big indicator of deficiencies. What deficiencies with an acid pH? This is from last time. What would you expect to see? Acid pH saliva. B12, D3, okay? Those are big deficiencies with acidic saliva pH. So if I would graph this, remember below is going to be acidic. Can everybody see over there? And above is going to be alkaline. I'm going to put my 7 here for my urine, okay? And I'm going to put my 5, let's say here, for my saliva. And then I taught you to kind of draw a kite. This is the energy loss. And sometimes with people when I'm teaching them about their body, if I show this to them and I say, do you see how much energy you're losing just on eating? So these are the people that are going to be super tired about 10 to 15 minutes after they eat. After lunch, they're going to crash because their body is now sucking up all their energy, and it doesn't matter what they eat. They're just going to suck it up to try to speed this up and slow this down. Okay? So from last class, if I have an acidic saliva, we know they need what? What did you say? Now he forgets. It was good when it happened. Enzymes, right? They don't have amylase, so what triggers digestion? He's your radio control. He tells everybody else, food's coming down. Get ready, pancreas. Get ready, everybody. Okay? If you don't have that start in your mouth, you don't have a digestive system starting. You're not going to break your food down. Okay? Lower body, urine. What did we say could help with that? If someone's constipated, has a congested colon, what could we do for them? What would you give somebody that said, I'm constipated? What would you recommend? One thing. It's not wrong. I'm not going to yell at anybody. Magnesium. Sure. What else? What was that? Probiotics. I'm a big fan of probiotics. That's where most of our probiotic colonies lay, is in the colon. Do we have massive colon cancers now? Do we eat probiotic foods? Nah, nobody cans or ferments. Okay? Maybe fiber. We have a frontier fiber, right? What I always tell people, fiber is like lifting weights. So my first degree is in exercise science. So I was a personal trainer for 15 years, okay? And if I wanted my biceps to get bigger, I would lift weights, right? Because it's going to make them stronger. Remember, the colon works on what we call that peristalsis. It squeezes the bile through to the end. It has to be strong enough to do that. So when you eat fiber, it's like lifting weights for your muscles. So if you put fiber in the colon, you're going to make it stronger, okay? Does that make sense? Erin has this. She's like, So it makes sense. All right, any questions here? Does anybody remember their pH from last time? Okay, did anybody find any results with things that were recommended? Changing your pH? I know somebody, Rich was saying his pH is perfect now. Body tells you a lot. Okay, optimal pH is 6.4 over 6.4. Tells you transit time of digestion. Remember, same speed. You want that at the same speed. That's super important. Okay? This assures mineral acceptance. Remember, deficiencies come up. If you have an alkaline saliva, if you test somebody and their saliva is 7, so digestion is what? Upper body is too slow. It's stagnant. Okay? It's usually a vitamin C deficiency. Okay? Look for gum health issues. Look for vein issues, capillary issues. Biflavonoids are huge in that. Ask if they have hemorrhoids. Okay? What else could that show you a need for? Who's king? Besides Jamie? Stomach is king. He determines how everything happens. So if they have a slow upper body digestion and the door is not getting the signal to open because it's not acidic enough, what might they need? Yeah, hydrochloride, right? So just to be clear, in our betazyme, we have a hydrochloride, okay? It's not really hydrochloric acid. If I gave you hydrochloric acid, you would not be here anymore, okay? But what we use is a hydrochloride, okay? In that betazyme, I tell people, take it at the end of your meal, on your last bite, so it sits on top, because you don't want to drive that into the small intestine. So I'll tell them, Cybezyme, first bite, betazyme, last bite. Okay, you got 2 pills at dinner along with your steak. All right, the pH is often offset in either urine or saliva, so we're running at 2 different speeds, wasting a ton of energy. The bigger the split, remember, the bigger the kite, the more energy we lose. Okay, we want those numbers close. And there is a healing range. You can get to like 6.6 and 6.2 and still be successful. Don't zoom in on those numbers and be like, you're not 6.4. And what I tell people is, let's say Bill comes into my office and these are his numbers, okay? And he comes back 3 weeks later and he is dead on. I take his numbers again, 6.4, 6.4. Urine over saliva, and we high five. Psh, good job, way to go. Is he cured? Okay, that is called the healing range. It's not called the cure range. It's not called the you're all better range. It's called the healing range. At that point, it's 90 to 180 days for his body to make a new cell. So he doesn't go and party it up with his friends and celebrate with beer and wings. He has to stay on his regimen for at least 90 days so that his body can make a new frequency, so it can make a new cell. And I think we as practitioners, we get people to a point where we're like, yeah, they feel better, they're great, okay, see ya. I always do a 3-month follow-up. If someone is done with me and they feel great and everything's wonderful, I want to see them in 3 months. I want to make sure you're holding your numbers, that you're doing the things that I need you to do for the next 90 days so that I can assure that you make new cells. Okay? So pH can just be a good indicator that they're holding those numbers. Okay? The larger the split, the less nutrients. I tell people, your pH looks like that, all the vitamins and minerals you're taking are not getting where they need. They're not getting in the cells. We need them to be in the cells and not in the blood. Has anybody ever heard not to drink distilled water? Okay, because it leaches your minerals. Okay. I always say to people, yes, that's true, but if your minerals are in your blood and not in your cells, they're not serving you and they're just getting in the way. So I do use distilled water for people if I see high salt contents, because there's too much stuff in their blood. It's making it thick and sticky and coagulated, and it's causing issues. Okay? So keep in mind that if you can't break it down and digest it, it's going to go to the blood, and that's anything, any food, any product. So if you're not absorbing it, you may be causing more harm. So know your pH so that we have the right acceptance. Okay, stages of healing. We talked about these, and we talked about the fact that these are indicators of success. Right? So let's say someone comes into your office and they're at pattern 5, acid, acid. Now knowing that pattern 1 is optimal, pattern 5 is probably the worst, correct? We all agree on that? So upper body and lower body is running super fast, and this is the person that's in your office like, I don't know, I just can't calm down and I can't sleep at night. And, okay, super nervous. Okay, that's called a stress pattern. Their body is literally aging. That's oxidative stress. That entire system is hot and fiery. Okay, so let's say the next time they come in, they're at pattern 3. So their lower body, their urine, is acid, and their upper body is alkaline. Is that progress? The answer is yes. Yeah, right? It's not perfect, but they've moved up in their pattern. So people always ask me about these stages of healing, because I'll have clients that come in, and they're at acid, acid, and then they come back in, and their chart looks like this. And they're like, well, I'm not any better. But they're at what we call a high, low, okay? Urine is alkaline, that's a high alkalinity. This is a low alkalinity, so they're at a high-low pattern. So they're at pattern 4. They were at pattern 5, so what I can say to my client is, although it's not 6.4 over 6.4, you're moving in the right direction, okay? It's an indicator for you and a talking point for them. If they come in at pattern 3, the next time they come in at pattern 5, you're gonna ask, what did you do? You know, what happened? Are you following the protocol? Was there a new stress in your life? Okay, remember, it can be emotional or physical. You can be eating a food that is causing your body oxidative stress, and just simply by eliminating that food, you can help the client. Okay? If they don't like their husband, that's a whole different issue. But you can help them manage through it with maybe emotional support, Bach flowers, you know, energy therapies, things that can enhance their emotional state. Make sense? The number one thing that'll tank pH is stress of any kind. Stress, stress, stress. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Okay? I can have somebody with great health, works out every day, goes through some sort of trauma, and will come into my office and they're acid, just from the emotional stress. So it is good to have that nutrient base for those times. And when somebody can hold their numbers at 6'4", 6'4", or close to that during times of stress, that tells me you have put enough money in the savings account of which you draw from when you need it most. Okay? We're not curing people here. We are setting up a reserve for them so that when they do get stressed out, they have something to pull from. The people that don't do well. They're the ones that are sick all the time, or when they get sick, they're down for weeks, or things linger within their system. Okay? So this is an indicator as well as how much reserve do I have to pull myself up and out of some sort of stress. Any questions so far? All right. So if that pH keeps changing with your clients and they come in, they're pattern 2, pattern 5, pattern 3, pattern 1, pattern 5, and they're all over the place, they're not holding their numbers. Okay? Remember, you cannot build a house on quicksand. Okay? You can have the most beautiful $1 million home, and if you put it on quicksand, it will sink. So you can take all the products and the supplements and the things that you need, but if you don't address those foundations, if you don't get those under control, you will not hold your changes. Nutrition being first. Whole food, organic, non-GMO. Tree, ground, run, swim, fly. Falls from a tree, grows from the ground, runs through the field, swims through the ocean, flies in the sky, organic, non-GMO, eat it. Okay? If it comes in a box, bag, can, or bottle, that's not food, that's what you do instead of food. That's not life-sustaining, it does not reproduce, and it will not reproduce life in you. Okay? Write that down. No, I'm kidding, you don't have to. All right? Hydration. Remember, water's your medium. Everything flows through it, you need it, your body is water. Make sure that the hydration is adequate. You want good clean water, things that have lots of energy. I explained this last time. If you know chemistry, you understand what the periodic table of elements are and what 16 means for oxygen. It's how many electrons spin around that nucleus, right? So with tap water, there's about 25 hertz of energy within each one of those electrons. So when you drink water, you get less energy, right? A lot of energy to detox, a lot of energy to assimilate. In spring water, that goes up to about 299 hertz of energy. Wow, huh? What about reverse osmosis? And what's reverse osmosis? H2O. Nothing else in there. Okay? That has about 500 hertz of energy per electron. Okay? So when people say, why just drink tap water? Number one, it's loaded with chlorine and fluoride and things that will destroy your thyroid. But it doesn't have as much energy, right? Because there's other stuff getting in the way. Okay? It's not H2O. You cannot accept minerals from water. That's what plants do. And you eat the plants. You're not a plant. Okay? So when they sell you this mineral water, don't waste your money. Go buy a RO system for your house. A lot better investment. Elimination. Bowels, bowels, urinary, lungs, lymph, skin. Those are your elimination pathways. We talked about those last time. I'm using my teeth now because I can't get these off and I'm holding 50 things. That'll pick up later. So you have bowels, right? This is comprised of colon, liver, correct? Urinary is kidney, bladder. Lungs, it's pretty much lungs, that's an easy one. Lymph, same, easy. And then skin. Okay, so we got the bowls. These guys roll. These are elimination pathways. Let's say your client comes in and tells you they don't drink water, they're constipated, and they use 600 cosmetics a day and put like 500 chemicals on their body. How many pathways are left open? 2. Let's imagine that's a 5-lane highway in Pittsburgh on their way home from work. Okay, and you only have 2 lanes. Are you going to be backed up? Be congested? Okay. How many deep breaths do you think you take a day? How many people belly breathe? You can get rid of 80% of your toxins through your lungs. What if someone has compromised breathing? What about kids that are on inhalers? Okay. What about lymphatic? How do you move your lymph? Does it move by itself? What did you say, Trinity student? Movement. Right, remember, movement is detox. Exercise is detox. Movement detoxifies, gets the lymph moving. The lymph cleans the cells. That's why when you start running, your nose starts running, right? You start working out, you sweat. That's lymphatic cleansing, okay? For people that can't move, maybe they have an injury or they just can't do it physically, what could you do for them? Massage, yeah, massage is a great one. Do you have one? Dry skin brushing, excellent example. Dry skin brush, get a back scrubber. Start at the feet, do little fast circles, up the leg, cover the whole surface, up the other leg, you have to do it naked. I'm not going to demonstrate for you. And then, it just gets awkward. So then arms in, belly, I tell women, get around the breast tissue. There is a lot of lymph here. Go up the back, okay? Dry skin brush. It can cleanse out the body almost as much as a 5-mile walk, okay? 3 minutes in the morning, jump in the shower, all your pores are open, good cleansing, okay? So there are ways to help your clients. You just have to think outside the box. So we need these to be working to get toxins out, okay? Does that make sense? Oops, sorry, I went backwards. All right, movement, we talked about that. Any type of movement is good. Anything that cleans the cells, remember movement is detox. It doesn't have to be P90X. It doesn't have to be something rigorous. You just need to sweat and move. Okay, sleep. What if I did everything else on that list and I didn't sleep? Am I healthy? No, I have a 3-year-old. I can totally attest to this, right? I said, someone asked me, like, how'd you sleep last night? I was like, awesome. I was by myself. It was great. Like, no 3-year-old waking me up to tell me his dreams or his stories. Okay? Sleep is where you recover. It's where growth hormone is released. Okay? It's where we cleanse every night. Okay? So if you're not sleeping, you're not detoxifying, you're not making new cells, you're not making new brain synapses. You need that for your brain. How did they torture people? They kept them awake. Yeah, okay? Sleep is extremely important. Oops, sorry. Stress. You can do all these things right and experience a trauma. Now, the good thing is I tell people with stress, I can't control it for you. And you sometimes cannot control the stress that's coming into your life, but you can control the other parts of this. You can control what you put in your mouth, how much water you drink, whether or not you go to bed on time, not getting on your blue light iPads and confusing that pineal gland, right? I showed you that last time with your smartphone. If you swipe up from the bottom, there's the screen changer, changes you from blue to orange. Put that on your phone. Don't have that LED light in your eyes all the time. Your body needs darkness to release melatonin. So when the sun starts to go down, okay, your body says, oh, it's nighttime. I'm going to release melatonin out of my brain and make everybody go to sleep. But what do? We turn on all the lights in the house and the TV and get our iPads out and we fight it because we can't go to sleep at 8 o'clock because that's weird. Okay? So stress, you may not be able to control, but you can control these other things. So give your clients things that they can actually do. But nutrition and hydration are key. Again, you can't build your house on quicksand. Work. All right. So once we get those people to that 90 days, remember we're in that healing range, 90 days, I tell them you can play a little bit here and there. We're going to live in that 80-20 world, okay? 80% whole food, organic, non-GMO, tree, ground, run, swim, fly. Okay, 20% of the time, you can play a little bit. All right, everybody has this chart because people ask me, what if I don't want to take supplements and I just want to do it with food? Okay. I get a lot of vegans, vegetarians that come in very alkaline and very constipated. Why would that be? Where are they getting the majority of their foods from? Which side of this chart? Slow digestion is alkaline, right? So most vegans, vegetarians will be eating an alkaline diet, right? And that's great. And they'll say, I don't want to eat meat. Because, meat's going to make them more acidic because it's on the acid side of the chart. But could they eat blueberries, cranberries, and prunes? Why do you think prunes make you go to the bathroom? If constipation is alkaline and I give you a prune, what does it do? It pushes you acidic, and guess what? You have a bowel movement. It's a miracle. No, it's just pH, right? Okay? So this chart is a good way for you if you don't want to do supplements, you don't want to have to worry about that stuff. You can choose foods that are going to move your pH based on nutrition. And for some people, they don't want to take pills. How many people hear that? I don't like taking pills. I don't want to take pills. They come to you, get off pills, and we give them more pills, right? They don't want to take a certain pill, so we give them more pills. Keep flicking things, sorry. Any questions so far? All right, so at this point, it's been about 15 minutes. If we have pH strips, can we start passing them so everybody can do their saliva pH? Yes?
Question about sleep.
Uh-huh.
So what do you suggest for people that have to work shift?
Yeah, shift work is tough. I tell those people to sleep when they can and make it dark. Get an eye mask, black out the curtains. They're going to have to trick their body into a different circadian rhythm. When they come off that shift, let's say, for example, they work night shift as a nurse for 20 years. I get a lot of nurses that come in, and they can't sleep after they retire. So it's a complete circadian rhythm reset. So literally, I'll tell them, take your shoes off, go outside in your bare feet, put your feet in the dirt, stand facing the sun, watch it go down for 3 nights in a row, and reset your circadian rhythm. Our body's internal clock goes with the moon and sun phases. That's how we're built. So you can help them just by earthing. Even if they are going into work and you have them watch the sunset before they go in, it'll still help reset circadian rhythms. Okay? The other things you can aid with at that is melatonin, because their pineal gland is going to be confused. But basically just teaching them habits within their lifestyle. So for most people that work shift work, for me, night mask, as dark as you can possibly get it. If you need some melatonin assistance at that time, you can take it. But circadian rhythm reset and things like that. Now, swing shift is tougher. Yeah, those people, you're going to teach them the other foundations. We're going to try to get you to sleep when you can, as best we can, but your nutrition is now more important. Your hydration is more important. Your movement is more important, because you can control those things. Your schedule, you cannot, but we can control things that we can. Does that make sense? Okay. So pH strips are coming around. What you're going to do is normally we have you spit in a cup, so I want you to work up some good spit. Such a fun lecture, isn't it? You're going to spit into the cup. I want you to pay attention to any stringing if you pull the cup away. Okay, what can that tell me about your saliva? Yeast. You can have a little bit of yeast there, right? Or you're dehydrated, right? So if you're dehydrated, that's going to get gummy and thick. Are you going to produce amylase if you're dehydrated? Right? That's why your mouth waters when you get hungry, because you're producing saliva to make amylase. So people that are dehydrated, is their digestion good? Nope. Sometimes it's simplicity. Take your pH strip, dip it in there immediately, compare it to the graph immediately, write your number down, and pass the pH strips. Not yours, the clean one. Okay? People don't like when you hand them your pH strip. Okay. So what we're going to learn for the rest of this part, which I don't know what time it is we are going to learn face, tongue, and nail analysis. I'm going to teach you triangulation with your clients. I want you to be able to practice when the lights go out. I love doodads and gadgets and machines and blood work and all that kind of stuff, but if you are somewhere with somebody and all you have is that person, can you make an assessment based on what you see and what you hear and give a quality recommendation? Okay, most of us probably can, okay, but I'm going to give you a few more tools in your toolbox just to be a more solid practitioner, okay? So when I read a client, if I do pH, I'll then take that pH, make my determination, and then listen to that client, and then I will take a look at their face, their tongue, and their nails, okay? So just a real quick demonstration. You want to be my victim?
Sure.
I mean, my participant? That victim, I don't know why I said that. What's your name?
Kelvin.
Calvin, have a seat here, Calvin. Okay, everybody see Calvin okay? That way, like that. Okay, all right.
Barely. I got you. Okay.
So Calvin, if we take a look at him, I can look at certain things about Calvin's face. The very first thing I look at is personality. What kind of man is this, right? How do I align with this client? because that's the most important thing you can do with the practitioner. You got to get them to listen to you, which means you got to affect them where it matters most, okay? So when I look at Calvin, I look at his ears first. I want to know, he has cute ears. She's cracking up. I want to know, how well will he hear me? Calvin's ears stick out a little bit, so I know that he'll listen partially to what I say. I can't overload this man with a ton of information. He's going to shut down on me. People who have little sticky out ears, kids, you ever see kids? They're great listeners, great auditory learners. They love when you tell them things, and they listen. People that have ears real tight against their heads, they're more visual learners. Kinesthetic, they're not going to hear everything you say. Those are the clients that I'll literally write stuff down for and be like, here, do this, okay? Because if I tell them, they're going to leave and be like, I don't know what you said, okay? I look at things like the nose, okay? If it's a very prominent nose, I know that we have somebody that's a driver, successful, likes to be in charge, okay? He's a good listener, knows his average, so I know that he doesn't have to be the boss all the time. He's willing to accept some constructive criticism, okay? So it's just personality stuff. I look at the color of his skin. You ever see somebody that's real red skin? Those are fiery people, very fiery, okay? Everyone's pointing, red, right? Okay? He's not a fiery personality. This guy's kind of calm, okay? He's a calm guy. So he's going to be a pretty good listener, okay? He's going to take direction, and he's going to be calm about it. Okay? Then I'm going to look at his lips. He's tight-lipped, so I know he has some metal features. He can be stubborn at times. Okay? He likes to do things his way. Okay? So this is alignment for me. Now, this is just bonus stuff. It's not anything that you have to learn, but it's fun to know how you are effectively aligning with your clients. And I can look around the room and know who's going to zone out on me here and who's not, which is why I make my lectures kinesthetic, auditory, and visual. I want to hit all your learning styles. I want everybody to participate, because for my auditory learners talking, you guys are like, I got this, I'm writing it down. For my visual learners, you're like, doop, doo, and my kinesthetic learners, you're gone until I make you do something, and then you'll remember it forever, okay? For your clients, it's important, okay? I'm not going to pick on you too much, but I won't bring you back up when I assess people. I'll bring some other victim up. So when we look at this client, we're going to start with the face, okay? Each ear is an age range, okay? Birth to 6, 7 to 14, okay? So I can feel on his ears if I really wanted to. Now you're getting an ear massage. And see if anything had happened to him. Oh, little ridge, little bump. I would say around maybe 14 or 15. He might have had an accident. Okay? If I look at big earlobes, I know they're money bags. Hang on to those guys, girls. No, I'm just kidding. Okay? So you can also tell a lot about attached earlobes to unattached. People with attached earlobes are confident, right? They can be a little egotistical. Not me, just a little bit. Okay? So there's things you can learn. All right? So when we look at the forehead, the middle of the face, and the bottom of the face, so from the eyebrows to the top of the forehead, from underneath the eyebrows to the nose, and then from the nose to the chin is lifespans. Okay? I can look at him and tell he had a good little childhood. Okay? Sometimes he fights with his siblings. He had, most of his success is going to be now, later in life. He has a very long lower chin, and he's going to live a long time. You're going to be around a while, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Okay.
This is kind of midlife, so whatever he did was kind of short-lived, and he really hit what he was supposed to do in life now, and it's going to be successful. His success line is above his ear, which is the earlobes. So if you look at your earlobes and it's above the eye line, it means you'll be successful later in life. Okay? Does that make sense? A little bit above. So that's just kind of personality stuff. Bonus material, it's not anything you have to know. What we're going to learn today is the actual physical attributes of the face and what they mean. Okay? Is everybody good with that? So everybody look around, pick someone that's a good listener. No, I'm just kidding. You can go back to your seat. Thank you. Give him a hand. Good job. So I'm assessing every single one of you. All right, so let's start. Can you see pH in face, tongue, or nails? Could you see your pH numbers indicated there? Can you muscle response test pH? No, you can't be like 5.5, whatever. But what you can see on the face is mineral acceptance. You can see transit time of digestion, and you can see nutritional need. You can see that in the nails. You can see that in the tongue. Okay? So let's take a look. Physical observations, they're going to reveal a lot about personality, nutrition, and even emotional stress. I can tell how stressed somebody is by how far back their eyes sit. Okay? That's adrenal stress. If someone's eyes sit way back and they kind of have like a hollow look to them, you know they've been in chronic stress for a long time. I'm sorry, guys, I keep standing in your way. Okay? Can physical observations diagnose any disease? No. I can't cure, treat, or diagnose. But I can certainly help you feel better. Okay? Let's look at the face. What I look for. I look at the shape of the face. I make sure things are symmetrical on both sides. People that have asymmetrical faces have two different personalities, right? Hot or cold, happy or sad. It also tells me a lot about brain function. Okay, right and left. Left side of the body is indicative of what? Male or female energy? Left side is female. Right side is male. So if something is happening on the left side of somebody's body, emotionally I know they're being affected either by, if it's a girl themselves, or a female in their life. Okay? So if someone comes hobbling into my store with a hurt knee, and I say, what happened? They're like, I don't know, my right knee just gave out. This hurts. Do you have anything for this? I probably know that their foundation is unstable, and it probably has to do with a man. And so I'll ask, you having issues at home with their husband? And they'll be like, oh my God, yes, how'd you know that? I don't know, you just came hobbling into my store. So you can learn a lot from just the emotional, physical manifestation. That's Louise Hay, Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Body. It's a great book. Shape of the eyebrows. What if someone's missing eyebrows at the end? What does that mean? Thyroid, yeah. Okay. In Chinese medicine, if you have a unibrow, super lucky. And what do? Rip. Here wants your luck. Good job. Okay. So in our tradition, we look at physical things on the face, wrinkles and things like that as bad, whereas in other cultures, they're actually considered lucky and good. Okay? I walked up to somebody and I said, you have an intuition line. When did you get that? And she said, I don't know. I said, well, you have to start trusting your intuition. And she's like, that is what I struggle with. To her, it was a wrinkle. To me, I was like, ooh, you're very intuitive. Yeah. Okay? That's right above here. End of the eyebrow. You will get those when you start being intuitive. And all of a sudden, they appear. Okay? Shape of the forehead, how big, how small, are there lines? Okay? Wrinkles, and depending on where they are in the face, and we're going to get to the face map, we're going to learn all those areas, tells me a lot about what's going on inside the body. Let's say someone came in with super deep hollows here. We call that panda face. There's a face chart in your booklet if you turn the page. What is that indicative of? Two pages over. Everybody find the face chart? Right there. It's at the top. I'm sorry? Lungs are here. Large intestine. So what would I, see this helps me when they walk into my practice, you know, and they're looking around on my shelves, and they're looking and they're looking, and they can turn around and look at me and I'll be like, can I help you with something? Well, I'm just looking. Are you looking for something for digestion? Well, kinda. Are you having any type of constipation issues? They're like, yeah, how'd you know that? And they have very deep crevices. So I can cut down my time with somebody just by looking at their face. Okay? Spots or discoloration. What are brown spots? What do they call them? Liver spots. Why do they call them that? Right? Because 3,000 years of traditional Chinese medicine says so. Okay? Acne, depending on where it is, will tell you a lot about what's going on inside. If kids come in and they have acne here, I know we have stomach issues. If they have it on their forehead, I know we may have yeast in the bladder. Okay? If they come down here with acne, I know we might have hormone issues. Okay? So it depends on where that acne is, and I'll ask, where is it on your face? Most kids will come in right here. This can also be colon. Or they break out around their nose. That can be colon. Okay, so where that lies on the face matters. Okay, lips cracked, cold sores. Okay, that can be vitamin C deficiency, vitamin A. Blotching. Anybody know that one disease, what's it called, where you get blotching that I'm not allowed to say? Rosacea. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I can't say that. But where does that happen to be on the face? What's this area on the face? Stomach. So what would you address with that person? Digestion, right? Stomach. Stomach's king. Okay, dryness. Dryness can be what? If you have dry skin, what do people tell you to do? Drink water. What if someone says, I drink tons of water? Now what is it? Can be thyroid, but what does the thyroid love and live for besides iodine? Fat. Needs fat. Your body needs fat and proteins to make hormones. That's how it works. Okay, so if I see dry skin and my client says to me, I drink a ton of water, I'm going to look for fat assimilation. Are you emulsifying it? Are you breaking it down? Is it going where it needs to be? So I might throw in some lecithin or lipase, digestive enzymes, right? Okay, capillary damage. If I see the little red lines on the face, my second question is, do you have hemorrhoids? Most of the time, the answer is yes. I don't know how the face matches to the butt, but it does. Okay? Because that's all veins, capillary, things that carry blood. Okay, you need vitamin C, biflavonoids. Those are your strengtheners of those. So I might give some vitamin C to that person. Okay? Corners of the mouth, if they're drooping way down, that's usually deficiency. Usually tells you about optimism. Are you an optimistic person or pessimistic? What kind of client am I dealing with? If they come in and they're like, I'm like, uh-oh, we're going to have to show her some unicorns and butterflies, right? Or if someone walks in like, hey, I feel terrible. Then I know, that never happens. But if it would, that would be great. Then I know they need agrimony Bach flower, okay? Thickness of the lips will tell me whether the person is tight-lipped, sensual, open, communicative, okay, how wide their mouth is. If someone comes in with like big smile, big mouth, I'm like, I'm going to be here for hours. They're going to talk my ear off. I'm like, yay! So you have to know how to kind of manage those people, okay? All right, so most things you'll see will be wrinkles, spots, acne, lips, sore, blotching, dryness. These are some of the most common things you're going to see, and really the things you should pay attention for. Where is it? What is it? And how do I help it? Okay? You're not diagnosing, you're just helping systems. So let's face read. All right, so this is in your book. Okay? This is the map you're going to refer to with each of the pictures that I throw up here. Now, I picked specific people because they had very prominent features, not for any political view. Okay? So when I ask you, what do you see, you're not allowed to say bad words or derogatory statements. When I'm saying, what do you see, I want to say, what do you see on their face? Okay? So this area, you ever have someone who has a big line right here? Okay? That's spleen. All right? So I'm just going to draw up here. Try to control yourself with my awesome artwork. It's a bonus. I believe you have a person. I know, I get it. It's really good. Okay, let's have a person here. We'll make them optimistic, happy. Okay, if they have a line right here, that's spleen. Okay, so I would maybe make suggestions for them, and I'm going to show you how to triangulate this with the tongue and the nails. You're going to see it in all three places. What if they have lines like this? Liver lines, right? So what might the liver need if they have liver lines? What might be some questions you ask them? What'd you say, Nancy? Alcohol intake, sure. Yeah, it's a good one. And I'll tell you a good indicator for that one. If you have someone that walks in with a very heavy line on one side, that's usually a sign of alcoholism in the family. Now, don't say that to your client. You can't walk up and be like, was your mother an alcoholic? Like, that's just kind of offensive. Okay? And depending on whether it's the right side or the left, what does that tell you? Male, female. Okay? So you can find out a lot about trauma from your clients without ever asking them a question. You can also tell if they are partaking. Okay? But if you have two, and it doesn't always mean that, but it's a question you could ask, do you use alcohol? because all the green drinks and the liver gallbladder tincture you use, if they're going home and drinking, 3 scotches a night and chasing it down with a couple of beers, that liver is going to be taxed, okay? All right, what about puffiness under the eyes? It's in your book. Puffy. Kidney. Yeah. Puffiness is kidneys. What might a need of the kidneys be? What does the kidneys love? Water, minerals, potassium. Okay? Let's give this guy some eyes. He just looks creepy. Well, now he looks creepier. What if it's dark under the eyes? Liver. Could be food intolerances, but if you have food intolerances, will that affect your liver? Sure, it's going to put your body in stress. What if the darkness is right here in the corner of the eyes? You can all look at me for this one. Adrenal stress. That's adrenals. Okay? All right, so someone had pointed out this area here next to the nose we know is stomach. I've said it a couple of times. But anybody ever see people with very hollow cheeks? Okay? That's lungs. If I see people that have severe pitting there, I'll ask, do you have any respiratory issues? Do you have trouble breathing if it's cold or if you're, moving your body? Okay? Down here with women, if they have a line like this, heavy line, hormones, okay? Then I'm going to take a look at their neck, and I'm going to look for this. 2 lines or 1 lines going across the thyroid. Okay? And then where else would I look for thyroid? We talked about it. At the end of the eyebrow. Okay? So you see how you can start pulling all this stuff in, right? I'm sorry, repeat.
Right before you said thyroid,
Mm-hmm.
you said this, and then you said something about
Right here on the eyebrows, Dr. Weiner, at the end, if they're missing their eyebrows, that's thyroid as well. Okay? What about above the lip if they have little lines like this? That's stomach or small intestine. What likes to live in there? Yep, parasites, candida. That's what I would be looking for. Okay? We'll make him have sensual lips. It's getting worse, isn't it? Yeah, I get it. All right, what if they have those lines like this that come off the nose or lines like this? Super frowny. Okay, colon, right? Panda face. Okay, in addition to that, they're a little bit pessimistic. So if I know that we have colon issues and they're pessimistic, I know that colon means I am stuck in life, and maybe they're just not happy about it. Okay? What if they have ears that are against the head? Are they going to listen to me? Okay? It's not that they won't listen. It's just simply like, I'm going to either have to repeat myself or write something down. Or have them write something down. Okay? Because auditory isn't going to work for them. What if they have lines like this on their forehead? Small intestine, bladder, or if there's acne up here. Okay? Or acne down here on the chin. Okay? Acne is indicative of a little bit of yeast if it's in the bladder, if it's on the stomach. Okay, you might want a muscle test for that, which we're going to do later. Okay, hormones here. Yes, sir.
Hey, when you say acne, do you mean actual blemishes, or some people have that gravelly?
All the same to me.
Okay.
If there's something popping out on your face, whatever area it is in, that's the system that needs your attention. Okay? If you have lines here, depending on where they are, is where your thoughts lie. If they're up here at the top of your forehead, I know you're very spiritually connected. If they're in the middle, kind of earthy. And if they're down here, you're very grounded. If they're all over the place, I know that you have busy thoughts. And depending on the client, you could either say busy thoughts that get organized or scatterbrain. Okay? It also can tell me that you have issues with your siblings, because in Chinese medicine, if they're like this and they're not attached, that means you have disarray with your siblings. Any questions? All right, at the corners of the eye, too. Boop, boop, boop. Crow's feet, right? Those can be adrenal indicators as well. But what happens if your eyes start to set back? You're going to get pulling of the skin. You're going to get adrenal burnout looking, okay? So adrenal indicators for me are hollow eyes. You got the darkness under here, the darkness here, the adrenals here, and they literally kind of set back, okay? And I look at that person and I'm like, you're tired. Your body's been under stress for a long time. Any questions? Okay, what do you see? Nice. Large intestine, yes. Is he a good listener? Yeah, he is a good listener. Uh-huh. Look at those liver lines. A little bit. I would say a little liver spleen in there. Yep, yep. So his immune system's going down. What do you think's causing all his frustration and immune repression? Stress. Yeah, right. He's president. Okay.
Yeah, I see the adrenal in the corner of his eye.
Yep.
Darkness.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing to watch, and I think Mike pointed that out. Who pointed that out yesterday at the meeting? They were like, to see him, it was Jamie, start his presidency, and then 8 years later, what stress did to his body. And you see it on his face, okay?
Every president has
Everyone,
they
yep,
get fast.
yep. It would just be like, I just walk in their office and be like, just take this stuff and eat well. You can't control anything else. Go ahead.
That little molar
Right.
on the left side.
Yep, so the mole is actually going to be a signal. In Chinese medicine, moles are considered lucky. Okay, in Western or our Eastern practice here, we're going to look at that as kind of a genetic thing that was passed on. So we're going to watch his colon. That's always going to be a flag to me. Wherever those moles are, it's going to be a flag. Okay, so if it was a mole on the tip of his nose, what's that? Heart. So I'm going to make sure I address heart with him. Okay, so wherever that mole is, go ahead.
Looks like there's dots on both his cheeks. Like
Yeah.
small
Yep, liver stuff on his cheeks. So you see that.
heavy stomach.
Yep, stomach. But I'll make a connection for you. Good point. So he has discoloration on his cheeks, like liver spots, but they're on the stomach meridian. So I would probably look at him and say your liver's overwhelmed by the fact that you're not breaking down protein because your stomach and your digestion is compromised. So it goes to the liver. It can't filter it out. It can't methylate it, can't convert it, can't use it, and we get stress. What do you see? Diane Lane, right? Look under her eyes. Crow's feet. She's got a little puffiness there. What's puffiness? Kidney. Okay. See how her eyes are kind of set back? Okay, so at this time in her career, she was tired. She was under a lot of stress. Maybe she was working long hours on a movie. Okay. A little bit of large intestine coming off the nose. Do you see, I know you probably can't see it on her forehead, but can you see her lines? Okay. When I see a line on the forehead that kind of looks like this, I know it's bladder and small intestine, but if I see a dip, this is usually ascending, transverse, descending. And I'm going to muscle test the transverse colon to see if it's healthy. If I see those dips. Nice. What do you see? What do you see on his eyes? What's the number one thing that jumps out at you? Kidneys. Man, yeah, he is. Whew. And those liver lines. Is he a good listener? His ears are tight. They're big.
I was going to say, they're big.
So he's successful through his whole life, but he's not a great listener. It's pretty much his way or the highway. Look how small his mouth is. Okay, tight lips, small mouth. And even when he talks, his mouth stays very close. Like he doesn't expand his facial expressions.
Liver?
Oh yeah, liver, absolutely. Liver. It's liver, but there's one line I didn't mention, and this one's pretty important because you're going to see it on your clients a lot. I had a guy walk into my store again, just walking around looking for something on the shelf. And I walked up and he turned around and I said, "Are you looking for something for sugar stability?" And he was like, "Yeah, how'd you know that?" And he had a huge line going across, because he was carrying lollipops, yeah. See, he had a huge line going right across here. It's called pancreas line, okay? There is a guy on, my husband watches Fox News. I don't watch any news because I think it's a hoax, but there's a guy on Fox News, and I don't know his name. He has a huge pancreas line, and so much so that his forehead like falls down on top of it. And I just want to be like, oh my gosh, like, stop eating so many carbs. Like, get away from the sugar, you know. Anything else? Yeah, yep, it can be hormones. You can also, what they call the little dimple here for men. Take a look at prostate when they have that. Okay? Don't really take a look at it, just, you know, my muscle test. That just gets awkward. You know, but I would ask about prostate health in their family. You know, ask questions about their urination. Ask. Okay?
What about his eyebrows?
Yeah, his eyebrows are very determined. You see that upward sweep? That's a determined eyebrow structure. And just by the shape of your eyebrows, whether they peak and dip, whether they go straight, tells you a lot about personality. He is a driver. He drives. Okay? So when you get that look, it is just better to step aside. What do you see? Who's this? Anybody know? Wayne. Yeah. Wayne Dyer. What did Wayne pass away from? Yeah. Yeah. Did you say he's still dead?
Still dead. That's what he said.
I know, isn't that sad? It's kind of like, huh? And Louise Hay passed away this past year. So we lost both of them.
I don't know what he passed away from.
Who knows what he passed away from? He had a stroke, yep. So where do we see heart stress? Look at his nose, right? What about pancreas? He had double lines, okay? Liver lines. You see how his eyelids droop over his eyes? That's protein assimilation. Could it be possible that he was not breaking down proteins that were kind of congesting the blood? That he wasn't getting enough to rebuild heart tissue? Okay. Colon lines. Wayne was not a great listener, but he didn't need to be, because he told the world what to do, right? So if you look at people and you look at people in position, like here's a good one. Take a look at your politician. When you're making your vote, see if he'll listen to you or if he's just going to do what he wants to do, right? What do you see? Adrenal. See, this is a great example of how those eyes are set back, okay? I mean, she is older, but I mean, most of that might be dehydration just by the way she looks so drawn. But she is a great one to go over so many things. I mean, you have the entire panda face square structure of the mouth. You got the dark under the eyes with the bags. The eyes are set back. You know, eyebrows are gone at the end. This lady's tired. All right, so one more. What do you see? The one thing that jumps out with this guy, his nose. His bulbous nose, and it's split in the middle. I just want to throw CoQ10 at this guy. Like, pink, take some. Okay, crow's feet, adrenals, yep. Under the eyes, kidneys, small mouth. But he's got like sensual lips, so he's a good talker. What's that?
Sweet talker.
He's a sweet talker, yeah, maybe. I don't know him. All right, so now it's your turn. You're going to pick somebody you don't know. Once we get into those groups, you're going to take 5 minutes, and you're going to sit down and look at each other uncomfortably, and then write down all the bad things you see on that person's face that you don't know. Okay? All right, find somebody quickly. Come on, make friends, make friends. Everybody have a partner? Okay, I'm going to throw you into this group, okay? Ask questions. If you see something, ask questions. Go back and forth and I look at them.
And I'll experiment with my friends.
Absolutely. You'll never watch TV the same again. Like you'll be like, oh my gosh. You know.
Oh, I didn't do that either.
Yeah. Good.
They stick out.
I mean, she's got awesome on top here.
All right. So there was a question up front about scars. And this is what I tell my eye-plucking eyebrow girls. If I start plucking my eyebrows at the end, what am I affecting? Thyroid. If you have a scar somewhere on your face, is that organ meridian line now affected? Yeah. Okay. So when people get stuff of Botox injected into there and plastic surgery, are they affecting energetic meridian lines to organ functions? Yeah. It doesn't mean anything's going to happen. It just means support that system. If you have a scar here on the pancreas, is insulin issues a fat emulsification issue or a sugar issue? It's fat. Yep. Insulin needs fat. Okay, so when I see people that have sugar instability or diagnosed with, I know they're not breaking down fats. I don't go after the sugar because most people with sugar issues will come in and say, I try to control my sugar, it's not working. Then I know it's a fat emulsification issue. I use lipase or lecithin. But then you got to warn them. Talk to your doctor, make sure you check your blood sugar because it's going to change and you need to speak with your physician about any medication changes. Any questions on the face? Any interesting findings or questions about what?
Facial hair, how much of it does it take away from being accurate?
It's hard to see. You know, I usually ask clients why they grow a beard. You know what I mean? They just might like it. My husband is full beard. You know, but when he does shave, you see a lot of different things. So that's why we use tongue and nail too. Because women that have manicures, I can't use their nails. You know, they come in and they're like, swing, and I'm like, they look great, not helping my assessment, but your nails look fabulous. So if you can't see something in an area on the face, go to the tongue or go to the nails. Those areas will be repeated. Okay? Yes?
What are some of the common reasons why a man would grow a beard?
I don't know. I have no idea. My husband likes it, he's always had a beard. And literally when he shaved it, I couldn't look at him for like an hour because I had never seen him without a beard before he walked in the room. I was like, this is so weird. I'm like, grow that back. My kids wouldn't look at him. It was crazy for like a day. Do you have some common reasons?
Beg your pardon?
Do you have common reasons of why men grow beards?
Well, some people maybe have bad skin or a weak chin.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe trying to cover something up.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, so if the people do have acne,
On top.
yeah, right. My husband always says his hair just fell down. Yeah, he's like, it just fell down. So, but that's a good point that Dr. Weiner brings up. If someone does have a beard, what's that?
He says maybe men that shave are trying to be women.
Right, exactly. They're in touch with their feminine side. So if someone comes into your practice and they do have facial hair, ask questions. You know, say your beard's, why do you grow a beard? You know, they might be, I like it, or it's a religious reason, or whatever. Or they might say, like, I had an accident, or I had acne as a kid, and I cover it. So that gives you ideas, right? If they had acne as a kid in this part, you're going to be going to your face map and thinking, where was that weak? And is it still weak? Okay. This is the one that I enjoy the most because I get to have grown adults stick their tongue out at each other. Okay? So, this is an integral part because your tongue is awesome. It's made of epithelial cells, which means in 3 days, every cell on that tongue is turned over. So you can see change, effective change, in 3 days for yourself and for your clients. So of all things, I'll tell my clients, send me a picture of your tongue, and then send me a picture in 7 days after we start the protocol. Okay? This also allows practitioners to see stress in the body. If someone sticks their tongue out and it shakes like this, that's adrenal stress. Right off the bat, I know what I'm dealing with. Okay? Then I could triangulate that where? Where else could I see adrenal stress? Eyes, crow's feet, right? So now I'm going to start looking at their face, and then I'll show you how to see it in the nails. Okay? Nutrient needs can be assessed with the tongue, and we're going to go through different tongues. Okay? Crack down the middle. What color is the tongue? Real dark red, real light white. Digestive issues. Okay? Coating on the tongue, swollen tongue. All right, so what I look for, any heavy center line. So I'm going to get rid of this super scary guy. And draw a tongue. That's much easier for me anyway. That was tough. Okay, so I'm going to look for any heavy center lines. On your tongue map, what is this area? Stomach and spleen. Okay, so if I see a line that goes like this, right in that area, what would I be looking for? Digestive issues, maybe immune repression. So I'm going to ask questions, right? Then I'm going to look at their face. Where would I see spleen on the face? Here, in between the eyebrows. Digestion I might see here, right? Here on the stomach. So I'm going to start looking around. Okay? What's this area of the tongue? The tip. Heart, right. And then this is lungs. And then this area on both sides, liver, gallbladder, and then back here, kidney, bladder, small intestine. Okay, anybody ever see people with teeth marks on the side of their tongues? Okay, that's liver congestion, gallbladder congestion. Their tongue is so swollen that it's pressing against their teeth. Okay? I look for a coating. What if I see a coating here? Yeast. Yeah, that's an easy one. So people will say to me, I think I have candida. I'm like, well, let me see your tongue. And it might be perfectly clear. And I'm like, well, no. Look at parasites then, right? Could be one or the other. They like to live together. Teeth marks. Okay. Now, what if the coating is like yellowish or green? What are you going to ask? I always ask if they drink coffee. That's my first question. Because they got a yellow-green tongue and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to be like, oh, my gosh, your liver is so congested. I might be like, did you drink coffee this morning? Okay. Ask questions. I had a kid come in with a purple tongue one time, and initially I was like, oh! I was like, wait a second. Did you eat a lollipop? And he's like, yeah. God, thank God. I thought you were dying. On the inside. All right. So what if I see red dots? Oh, I have a red marker. What was that? Somebody went, blah. Red dots. Oh, the teeth marks are liver gallbladder congestion. But if I have red dots on the tongue, what is that? If it's a child, it's most likely B12 deficiency. And you're probably going to see that coupled with a very white underlying color of the tongue. Not a coating, but literally like a whitish tongue. B12, yep. If it's an adult, a woman, I'm going to look at hormones. And then how would I confirm that with triangulation on the face? I would look where? Chin. Yep, where else could I look? Double lines on the neck, right? Adrenal stress. It's all endocrine, okay? We're not sure what hormone it is because we can't diagnose, but we could support the endocrine system, okay? All right, geographic tongue. Anyone know what this is? It's like a pattern where you get like a coating over your tongue and then there's certain sections that are like blotched out. That's yeast. The cool thing about geographic tongue is it'll tell you where the yeast is because where the coating is not is usually not affected, right? But it's wherever every place else. It's usually a pretty good systemic overgrowth if you got like a geographic tongue going on. The basic underlying color, white, could be indicative of what? If you have a white tongue that's not coated but it's literally a white color, what could that tell you that they're deficient in? Iron, did I hear it? Iron. Okay. What if it's hot red? Okay, could be dehydration, too much heat in the body. Sides of the tongue, we talked about that. Color, I had a lady come in. Her entire tongue along the sides was black. And I thought, and she never noticed it. And I said, has your tongue always been like that? She's like, I don't know, I never noticed it. Here she got exposed to a chemical like 4 or 5 years prior to that at work. And it ended up, I said to her, I was like, you know, that's a lot of toxicity in the liver and in the gallbladder. Let's clean that out. So, yes?
What would you call a wart on the side of the tongue?
Yeah, it's something to look at.
This woman has had it for
Sure.
5 years at least.
Okay. The liver's amazing. If it's a wart on the side of the tongue, you might want to look at maybe the gallbladder's congested. Or, warts can be immune system repression.
I'm pretty sure she has a serious lymphatic issue.
Sure, yeah. Remember the bowls. So if her liver's congested and everything's dumping into the lymph, that's going to get congested next. So your thing with her would probably be like get the toxins out, whatever they are. And they're showing you where they're gathering. That would be my indicator. Okay? Yes, Jamie?
You can also take the superbiotics and open up the capsule.
There you
A
go.
little bit of water, make it a paste. You put it right over top of the tongue, really effective.
On the wart?
Yeah, roast
Excellent.
the warts, everything like
Good.
that.
There you go. Superbiotics, break it open, make a paste.
Tell you one more thing about her. I told her to do sweat baths
Mhm.
and saunas, and she hardly could do that.
She gets sick?
Finally, she could sweat on this side of the face. but
Yeah.
not this side.
Isn't that amazing? Which side's the wart on?
The side
On the side that she couldn't sweat. Yep. She's completely congested. Address the underlying emotion with that one. She's angry or frustrated over something to the point where it made her feel ugly. She's got warts now. Okay? Ask about mouth ulcers, gum disease. Okay? Ask questions when you're looking at somebody's mouth. And does that tongue shake when they stick it out? Okay? All right, so here's your tongue map. We went over the areas. Yes? Who said Tracy? I'm sorry. Gum disease? Yeah, I like to use CoQ10, which is our power Q. You have to remember that the gums are made from the same cells in vitro as your heart, which is why it works for both. But if you have gum disease, it can be a deficiency of vitamin C, vitamin A. But most of all, I look at good microbiome, good probiotic base, superbiotics for that particular person. Get their gut health in check. Your mouth will tell you so much about the health of the person. And each tooth is a meridian to an organ. That can be a whole different lecture. Okay? Yes?
You know, people who have braces, if they're wearing braces,
Mhm.
it could be a sign of metal toxicity.
Metal toxicity, yep. So what do we do with our kids? We slap these metal braces on them for months and years. Okay? Okay, coatings and colors. So when we're looking at coatings, see the one bottom left? That's geographic tongue. Okay? So you can see on the right how we have a heavy center. Is this a little thing? Oh, look at that. That's fun. A heavy center darkness here. I just got new power. Wow. This is a heavy yeast, I would say. Okay, hot red. But look at these two. What's wrong with that tongue? Circulation. Yeah, that is purple, stagnation. Same over here. As my husband always says, even unhealthy people live a long time. I'm like, you just ruined my whole career. Thanks for that.
Tracy, on the hot tongue, what would you recommend in that?
Hydration and cooling foods, cooling herbs. Yeah. Also, any of your yin and yang organs, you're going to support your yin. Okay? Yang organs are your fire organs, your liver. That person has too much fire, angry, aggressive. We want to bring up the yin. Okay? Cooling foods. All right, deficiency. Hydrochloric needs. So here's the thing I tell people. If you have a line down the center here and you have lines coming off of it like this or cracks, that's usually a need for hydrochloric. Okay? That's stomach. So this person, look at the white color of that tongue. What do you see? What deficiency? Iron, right? They're not breaking down proteins, converting B12. Now they have iron deficiency. Okay? So while we can support their body with easy iron and betaine, we got to fix that digestive issue. They're not assimilating nutrients. Okay, see the bubbles at the end? See how it's bubbly here? Now it's affecting the heart. If you're iron deficient, will it affect your heart? Sure. Okay, do you see how this particular line goes all the way to the tip? So we have digestion, a little congestion back here, goes through the lungs and through the heart. What are lungs in Chinese medicine? What emotion? Grief. So something in this guy's life he just couldn't stomach. Caused him a lot of grief and a lot of heartache. Ask questions. What digestive could you do for this heavy center line affecting heart and affecting lungs? What could you do for him? All these awesome products. Yes, Ibzyme would be great. Yep. I don't see any hydrochloric needs, so I would probably stick with that Ibzyme. Okay. And then up here, heart and lungs, do we have products that can help with, what's that?
Power fuel.
Yeah, power fuel. How could you confirm that need? Could you muscle test them for it? Sure, we're going to learn how to do that. So everything that you recommend, you're going to muscle test your partner at the end and see if you're right. Okay? Now this is not a coating, but do you see how it's white? And if you get close enough, she has little red dots all over her tongue. What do you see there? What's that deficiency? Iron and right dot, what, red dots? Okay. Do you see any other hormone indicators on her? I don't really see any hormones, but I do see lung. So if she's iron deficient and B12, is she going to oxygenate her blood? No. She's going to have lung problems. The girl's going to try to go for a run and not be able to breathe. She'll go to the doctor. They might put her on some sort of inhaler. She comes to me, I might put her on iron and B12. See you later. Okay? All right, if this is a child, it's going to be a little bit different, right? So you see how you got that white base? His deficiency is now affecting his heart. You see how red that tip is? Okay. All right, so red dots in adults. You see how this tongue is not white, but it still has the red pitting, the red dots? I would triangulate that with hormones. Thyroid. Yeah, any hormones. Endocrine system. You could look here, you could look here, you could address adrenal, thyroid, anything. Muscle test for whatever. Ask about menses, ask about regular cycles, ask about fibroids in the breast. That's going to give you your indicators of what system you're looking for. Okay? See the swelling? Okay, this is a very heavily swollen tongue. She has some congestion. And there's so much swelling that it's actually like kind of pitting in. Gene Simmons. He was a mess. Okay? Look at that congestion back in that liver or bladder and kidney into the stomach. Hot red tongue. That man was fire, fire, fire. Okay? See how white her tongue is? Little swollen around the liver. So as you can see, you're going to see all different types of tongues. This guy worries me. Right, he's that chef whose name I can't remember right now. Yeah, he has a huge, thick tongue, purple, a lot of congestion with blood flow. That line goes down, and his tongue actually jets off to the right a little bit. So I would be looking at brain, too. He's got them Sampaku eyes, right? 3 whites. That's how you tell if someone's insane. Of course, that's not intentional, but... But if you guys know Sampaku, so if you see white on either side of the eye and on the top or on the bottom over time, okay, so if you have pictures of people, like famous people, and they have the 3 whites all the time, if you look at some of the serial killers, they have Sampaku eyes, okay? Now, if anybody creepy walks into your clinic, you'll notice they know. John Lennon. A little bit of heart stress, some digestive. So, you're going to see some common traits. Look at Miley. Whew. That girl needs a candida cleanse like nobody's business, doesn't she? And look at that heart stress on her. Super red tip. Yeah, she's a little heartbroken little girl. Candida in the body is I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just kidding. What do you say? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so now it's your turn. We're going to take 5 minutes because we got to hit lunch. So I'm going to set a timer. You're going to get with the same partner. Try to get into those chairs a little quickly so that we can go. Write down all you see, because it'll be really gross to do this after lunch. Now, when you guys stick your tongue out, everybody look here. It's a big ah, okay? To the back of the throat, ah, like your doctor used to ask you to do, okay? If you need to use your smartphone, you can use your light for the tongue. Don't make them hold it out there forever. Take turns, make an observation, then have the other person do that so you're not holding your tongue out for 5 minutes.